Hello, Gospel Community Leaders at Redemption Church. Thank you so much for all that you are doing on the front lines. We're starting a new sermon series, 4 weeks, Contend, proclaiming the gospel in a time when there's marginalization happening for Christianity, proclaiming the gospel in a day of marginalization. Contend. So we're excited about this. It's 4 weeks. It's going to hit really hard. Boom, boom, boom. But we're excited about it to see how God's going to build into our lives a desire to walk that line between our two tendencies to either become very condemning and separatist because we just want to kind of get away from the world, or B, become very syncretized with culture, just kind of conforming, and in doing that, selling out to very important parts of the gospel just so we can kind of conform and be relevant. So hopefully this is going to just spur us on even further, coming out of Jonah, to evangelize and to tell those around us about Jesus, and to kind of break our hearts for those around us, and send us out for God's glory and for souls to be saved. One thing we keep coming back to is that, yes, God has sovereignly chosen His children, and God is doing the work of salvation, but God is doing that work through us. And so as a church full of gospel communities who are willing and ready and excited and actively proclaiming the gospel in every situation that they find themselves in, God has predestined to save people that way. And so we're excited about what He's going to do in that. All right, this week's questions. Again, you might want to just overview the series. There's a series overview at the top of your study guide, and you'll see this week's main takeaway as well. Question 3 in the robust question set, and it's actually question 2 in the short question set. So question 2 in the short question set, question 3 in the robust question set have an appendix attached to them. There's also, again, some questions on this list that are actually not questions, but they're suggestions. Read this passage, read this quote, whatever, and then take some time to pray for some specific things. We want to be a people saturated with prayer, and so that's one reason why we've instituted these or started these corporate prayer gatherings. That's also a reason why we're trying to promote prayer through our gospel community groups too. I know we already pray in our gospel community groups for those in our groups, and those who are sick, and those who are having needs, pregnancies. Congrats to Kay Nana. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, you will be holding a baby in your arms. Hopefully you'll never see this video actually, because hopefully you'll take some time to just enjoy that baby. Pray for the Elkins. But not just prayer for each other and for specific needs, but prayer for our hearts, prayer for our souls, prayer for our communities, prayers for our church, prayers for our tri-state, and for people who are lost, things like that. And so that's the reason why we have these questions on our question sets here, to promote prayer. Under books to read, you'll see a whole new list of books. Again, recommend these either on the city or in person, by word of mouth to your people in your gospel community group, or via email, or however you want to do that. But recommend these books because they have to do with the sermon series, and they'll help out with that. There's people watching this who are not gospel community leaders. You're kind of helping out as your leaders are or are not able to be in group. If you are a leader, or you're soon to be a leader, we have a few of you out there that are watching this that are soon to be leaders. Lock into your calendar right now. If you're a leader, or you're going to be a leader launching this fall, we have a gospel communities leadership training meeting on the 25th, right after church, on the 25th of this month. So lock that into your calendar. You can RSVP for that on the city, but make sure that that's locked in there. So that ought to do it for this week. Again, I'm praying for each one of you that God is going to again do major things in our lives when it comes to us proclaiming the gospel, not just in deed but also in word, as we boldly proclaim the truth of the gospel, and God saves people through that. And so let's get after it, and you all have a great